everyone, this is Gary Varner. Welcome to Renegade Reason. So today we're going to be talking about the Women's March. Now, I originally wasn't going to be doing a video on this because I didn't just want to jump on everybody else's bandwagon, but they just kept upping the ante. So eventually I just couldn't resist. I was like, okay, I have to do a video on the Women's March. It's just something special to see. It really is, guys. We're going to be starting off with Madonna's video right now.
Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I am outraged.
Are you now?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. Say this with me. We choose love.
Okay, so that's that video right there. It's a little weird to me that she's like, oh, well, we gotta choose love. We have to choose love. It's the only possible way. We have to choose love. And yet, she's wanting to blow up the White House. We're not done yet. Of course, the next crazy person to get on this bandwagon was Ashley Judd.
Nasty. Like my blood stains on my bed sheets. We don't actually choose if and when to have our periods. Believe me, if we could, some of us would. Tell me, why are pads and Tampax still taxed? Ooh, that was a brand name. Why are tampons and pads still taxed when Viagra and Rogaine are not? Is your erection really more than protecting the sacred?
The correct question should be, should any of that stuff have a tax deduction? Should the government be involved in any of it?
You may be afraid of the truth. I am unafraid to be honest. It may sound petty
and incapable of being humble.
I can't see. My eyes are too busy praying to my feet, hoping you don't mistake eye contact for wanting physical contact. Half my life.
What?
I have been zipping up my smile, hoping you don't think I want to unzip your jeans. And our pussies ain't for grabbing.
Right, so that happened. I wonder why she went all Southern gospel. That was kind of strange. So those were the two minor events. Another girl got set on fire. These sorts of things are not about what they're said to be about. This was not about women's rights. Okay, first of all, what right are they talking about? We all know what they're talking about, abortion. That whole spiel was about abortion. Very indirectly, but it was about abortion. You know, 8 years ago when the conservatives were freaking out about Obama and everybody was like, hey, what are you so afraid of? The general response was Obamacare. We're scared of Obamacare. We don't want him taking over the health insurance industry. People thought there would at least be some general fear that these guys were concerned about, and they would be able to articulate the point. Well, they gave them too much credit. Nobody was able actually to articulate what they were really scared of. The closest answer we got was, well, they're afraid women are going to get thrown in jail for abortions. Other than that, no point could be articulated. I think this goes to show that this was not really about a fear of Trump. This was basically a giant temper tantrum. This was an excuse to go out in a giant mob and act like a bunch of jackasses. But anyway, we have a little bit of a news article here I'm going to read really quick. From the New York Times, of course. The women's marches were a phenomenal success and an important cultural movement. Most everybody came back uplifted and empowered. Many said they felt hopeful for the first time since the election day. But these marches can never be an effective opposition to Donald Trump. This movement focuses on the wrong issue. Of course, many marches came with broad anti-Trump agendas, but they were marching under the conventional structure in which the central issue was clear. They were reproductive rights, equal pay, affordable health care, action on climate change. How is climate change a woman's right? I mean, what is that? How do you equivocate the two? This was such a bizarre march. It was really just an excuse for the Democrats to throw a tantrum. We have a little bit of a slideshow here for you. Just some of the events that happened up at the march. Oh yeah, that reflects the values of climate change, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. Ooh, oh my goodness. Ooh la la. Yeah, that's classy. I'm really feeling women's rights now. Oh yeah. Oh hey, freedom. A uterus equals freedom somehow. Oh, hey. Hey, it's a vagina designed to look like the Virgin Mary, 'cause why not? Hands off my vagina. Well, there is no problem there, lady. We are in perfect agreement. And, of course, the last picture that we have for you. Would you like to know who this is? That is a former senator. I don't remember her name offhand, but that right there is a former senator. Guys, this is why you should spank your kids. Sometimes you just have to beat the stupid out of people. If you don't spank your kids, the takeaway here is your child will wear a vagina on her head and talk in front of God and thousands of people. Who funded all this stuff? How did this march come to being? Well, if you're curious, just a little bit curious, we have the answer for you. Can you guess who he was? Can you guess who it was? Da-da-da, drum roll, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Dracula's dad. I wonder if he paid for the sewed vaginas. This march, I want to talk about something else here, something that I don't think anybody else has really brought up, and I think this is the takeaway from this crazy, crazy event. This is not rational. Ask yourself this question when you're looking at these people. Do you honestly think that she is capable of having a rational conversation? What about them? What about the person who did that? Do you think you can share ideas with somebody like that? Do you think you can share or ask what they're really about, like what all this was really for? Do you think you can really discuss ideas with people in this place? I don't think you can. And this goes back to something that, sadly, Rush Limbaugh says, is like, there comes a point where people go so far left, there's no logic. There's no way to talk to these people. The thing that I think is really frightening is that there is so much emotion attached to this. People are scared. They have bought into the propaganda that Trump is some sort of inhuman monster, and they're so terrified that they're willing to act like a bunch of animals as if that's going to make some sort of point. If you believe people are subhuman, I don't remember who said this. I just heard this quote recently, but somebody said if you believe people are subhuman, that will give you a treat. If you believe people are subhuman, that gives you an excuse to treat them subhumanly. These kind of people, I guarantee you, would treat a conservative or a Christian or somebody who doesn't see their worldview or see the world their way, they would treat them like crap. I promise you that. And that's what's really frightening, is people are getting sucked into this deep, insane propaganda. And this is the thing that really ticks me off about Madonna and Ashley Judd. They don't believe a word of it. I guarantee you they don't believe a word of what they said. These people are opportunists. They are going with the crowd. They are going with what's easy. They know that they can get the right friends if they say the right things. And yet they pretend to be these very stupid people's friends and allies. We laugh at this and it's kind of funny. And yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. But I think in a way, at the same time, it's really frightening. This is really frightening to watch because this shows that these people are beyond logic. They're beyond reason. You don't talk to people like this. And there are a lot of them out there. And the Democratic Party has put itself in a weird place that these are its allies. And I'm going to sound a little end of the world-esque here, but this is how Nazism happens. This is how insane movements happen. People become so scared of some abstract fear, they start to behave irrationally. There are horror stories from World War II with the Japanese soldiers taking out their katanas, having babies, like throwing babies up in the air and landing them on the swords like they're shish kebabs. They had lines of soldiers where they would take turns having competitions of cutting off soldiers' heads. Now, how do people get to that place? How do people become so cruel and so angry that they do things that to us just seem absolutely insane? How do you get there? It's stuff like this. It's propaganda. It gets you to a place where you are so scared of what the future holds, of what's going to happen, that you will literally wear a vagina on your head. And because you're past thinking, you're riled up in emotion. This is the problem. This is what the Democrats have done to their movement. And now, if this has gone past policy, this is just straight fear of the other. And I don't know how we're going to reverse that. And I don't know how Trump's going to be able to talk people out, talk people down and go, look, no, it's fine. We're not your enemy. We don't agree on policy, but we're not your enemy. And we're going to try to unite the country. He can't unite with people like that. They don't want to unite. They're not his friend. They're not anybody's friend except their own little cliques. That should worry us a little bit. Because these are very scared people that are past listening to others. And when you get there, really bad things happen. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate your time. If you liked this video, of course, like, share, subscribe, all of that. And, guys, thanks again.